men's Division II basketball. Jason Knapp and Sean Farnham. Let's take a look at the teams and competitors in this one, starting for Mayville State from North Dakota. Head coach Craig Smith left the Division I assistant job at North Dakota State to come back to where he was an assistant before, and in his third season has his team on the cusp of a national title. And here's the starting five that the Comets will put on the floor. We talked about Monty Rogers, the Dakota Athletic Conference Player of the Year. Harachka in the backcourt, Chris Reinhardt, Matt Stenjum up front. And boy, Ron Howard is a guy that makes the Comets go.
Well, he is so lightning quick, and I think the key for him tonight is to harness that energy and use it at the defensive end of the floor to get up and Adam Hemker and really disrupt him as far as the Pioneers' go-to guy, the key to the engine, as we mentioned just moments ago. Ronald Howard is one of those guys that can certainly match him step by step.
For Mid-American Nazarene from Kansas, Rocky Lamar closing in on 500 career wins at his alma mater. 14 straight 20-win seasons. The only thing not on his resume, a national championship, and he has the chance to bring it home tonight. And here's the starting five he'll put on the floor, a big starting five. Kivers at 6'9", War at 6'7", Neller in the backcourt at 6'5", and Danny Hawkins a key factor in the paint.
Yeah, Danny Hawkins can actually absolutely dominate the paint. You and I saw it last night as we watched the semifinal games. 18 points, 15 rebounds. Does a very good job playing with his back to the basket. But one of the keys for his success is those second chance opportunities. Excellent on the offensive glass, fighting, scratching, and clawing to get putbacks.
Got a great crowd here just outside of Branson, hosting this tournament again at the College of the Ozarks for the 8th year in a row. Fans have made the trek down from North Dakota to root on Mayville State, and same with the folks coming from just outside of Kansas City to root on Mid-American Nazarene. Here's how they got there, and boy, each team working their way, especially through the semifinals. Teams with Northwestern in their name had difficulties. Northwest of Washington falling to Mayville, and Northwestern of Iowa of falling to the Pioneers.
Yeah, again, this doesn't show you even the entire body of work. This isn't just a 3-round tournament, as we mentioned. Both of these teams will have played 5 games in the last 6 days. Both of them averaging over 80 points per game heading into this one. So what can we expect? Well, fasten your seatbelt, get ready to roll, because this game could easily get into the 90s with the kind of tempo that these teams like to play.
If you like points, saddle up for this. It should be a dandy. Mayville State averages about 84 per game. Mid-American Nazarene about 87. Both, as Sean mentioned, like to get up and down the court, and their fans up and down here already.
And I look for a couple keys to the game as we start to get ready for tip here. Really, for Mayville, the biggest key for them last night, they were down by 10 early in the second half, but then they went on a blistering 31-13 run to close out the game, and they did it at the defensive end of the floor, shoring up things and rebounding. With as good as rebounding squad as the Pioneers are, certainly that's an area of concern for the Comets. They've got to have great attention to detail and not allow second chance opportunities. If they limit that, they'll have a great deal of success tonight. For the Pioneers, really what it is utilizing your strength, I think. I think you got to get the ball down low. You saw the size differential in the starting lineups. Utilize that size. Maybe get some of the Comets in foul trouble. Their bench isn't very deep in size either, so you can really open up things in the middle, and that allows Hemker to do what he does best on the perimeter.
Mid-American Nazarene has some explosive capability. Last night against Northwestern of Iowa in the semifinals, they were up 15 at halftime, never really put away Northwestern, and each team playing another game here. Who has enough left in the tank to bring home a national championship trophy? We are underway for Missouri. Mayville State in the white uniforms with a royal blue trim. Mid-American Nazarene in the red with the white and blue trim. Chris Reinhardt strikes first, a 3-ball for the Comets.
Nice start for the Comets to be able to stretch the defense on the perimeter and knock it down. I mean, you could have dialed it up any better for them. A couple passes in their offense, they find a wide open shot.
Reinhardt only averages about 3.5 per game, so he's in the scoring column early.
He's at his average.
Hawkins, very effective guy on the take. And there's a whistle before the rebound attempt. There's going to be a foul inside. And that'll go against Matt Stenjum.
Stenjum did a nice job right there, trying to body up Hawkins, trying to take that blow on his chest, but he just kept his feet sliding, moving a little bit. That's enough to pick up the foul. And a good job by the Pioneers to pound it down low immediately, try to use their size to their advantage.
And Hawkins as we saw in the semifinals firsthand last night, very alert at helping move the ball around. And this Pioneer squad does a good job of finding the open man. Hawkins can't convert. Secondary chance missed by Kibbers, and the rebound to the Comets of Mayville State. Ron Howard on the take. Andy Parachka gonna bounce it low. Rogers tries to turn, loses the handle, and it'll stay at this end.
Rogers for sure thought that one was off of him. He was running down the opposite direction. Coach Lamar can't believe it, but Comets catching some breaks here early. Hawkins had a nice look down at the hoop at the other end, unable to finish. They get a second chance opportunity, unable to finish, and of course they make their first shot, and now they get a second chance opportunity at their end of the floor.
Entry pass to Rogers, and the turnaround floater good. Monty Rogers, leading scorer and rebounder, about 18 points, 6 caroms a game, and a quick 5-0 start for Mayville State. They trailed 8-0 to start their semifinal contest last night against Northwest of Washington. Hepker deals it to Jake Neller. Now Hepker puts it on the floor and does what he does well. Get penetration, but the finish not there. Hawkins the rebound, still fighting, and the Comets come up with a board. Howard on the drive, can't put it down, but he alertly gets the rebound.
The hustle points right now are clearly going to Mayville. They have come out of the locker room ready to go tonight.
Rogers partially blocked by the 6'9" Kibbers. And here are the Pioneers looking to move.
And that was kind of a storyline coming into this one, because look, the Pioneers only lost 2 games all year long, have been ranked #1 for 3 consecutive weeks during the middle portion of the season. They right now came into the tournament ranked #2 in the country. So certainly the expectation level is coming in this one that they would walk away with this championship. Not a lot expected.
Lead feed to Rogers. Howard with the setup, and a dream start for Mayville State at 7-0.
The Comets are playing loose right now. They're playing like a team that has nothing to lose, and they're playing a team that's very focused. When they closed their talk today at shoot-around, they got in middle court. They said, you know what, national champs, and they believe in themselves.
The Comets right now on fire. Karam goes right to Stengen. He'll take it in, but traveling call.
Well, you look at how they built this lead right now, Mayville. They've done it by pushing the ball up the floor. Check this out. You get the ball out of bounds. Howard looks up immediately, as a good point guard would. Spots Rogers, able to finish at the rim. And those easy looks are going to be important today. You know, defense not necessarily the biggest emphasis for either one of these two squads, but certainly the Pioneers with their size and their length, you don't want to have to battle them in the half court, especially when you're trying to score down low.
Ryan Runberg was a starter last year for the Pioneers, now coming off the bench, inserted into this game. Another senior leader on the floor for the Pioneers, hoping to give them some confidence.
And he's really a good chemistry guy as well.
3-ball try for him won't go. In fact, he was a starter last year, and then when Kibbers came back after missing all last year with a knee injury, Runberg said, you know what, I don't mind coming off the bench if it helps the team. He does that, and it has helped.
Yeah, good blue-collar, hard-nosed player, really works hard.
Rogers the spin, rebound. Scott Tice getting his first action of this one and into the scoring column. And 9 unanswered points so far for the Comets. And off the turnover, here comes Mayville State again.
Give him a TO. Give him a TO. They need a timeout.
Rogers the rebound.
They need a timeout. You need to settle things down right now. The Pioneers are shell-shocked. And Mayville, the one thing I would say about Mayville, you got an 11-0 lead. You need to settle down. You haven't won anything yet. You're not even 5 minutes into this game, but certainly feel good about the positioning and where you're at and sustaining that effort at the defensive end of the floor, because for the Pioneers right now, they're struggling.
It is 912 miles from Mayville, North Dakota to Point Lookout, Missouri. About 14-hour bus ride. The players coming down here, a whole bunch of fans coming down here, and they have a lot to cheer about right now.
And you see the look of the determination on Adam Hepker there, getting into his players, his teammates. They need to get something going here. This is not the way that this team plays. This is not the way the team, I mean, they've had some good looks at their end of the floor, second chance opportunities. They haven't been on balance. They haven't been strong enough to go through the contact and get to the rim. And right now they're getting out aggressive. by the Comets.
And they've trailed during this tournament. They were down 10 in the first half to Indiana Wesleyan, and another turnover here, but they came back with a big 18-0 run and won that game. Rocky Lamar and his Pioneer squad need to come up with some magic right now. Mayville State out of the gate, great, an 11-0 lead here in the NAIA Division II championship.
Wow, your skin's soft. What?
Turn him.
It's really supple. So?
Come on.
You know, it's nice.
There's no shame in soft skin. Old Spice Body Wash.
I mean, why would you ask me out? Clearly, this is the package that you were drawn to. And then, what? Let's put the top down? That's crazy. Because I have a lot invested here. I know that this looks effortless.
Wouldn't it be great to hear exactly what you want on radio? Then say yes to over 100.
No.
Nazarene out of Kansas, a shocking development to begin this championship affair. And these gentlemen have something in common with the likes of Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Jack Sikma, Terry Porter. They're NAIA Division II first-team All-Americans.
Yeah, we see two of the guys we highlighted off the open. It's just announced by the NAIA. Monty Rogers and Adam Hemker both getting first-team honors, and what a great honor it is for both of those two guys. Rogers, specifically as a senior, Hemker's going to have another year to be on that list, maybe 2 consecutive years. But Rogers, what a great young man. Talking to him after the game last night, he really captured the emotion, the heart of this team, and what they're trying to do right now out here on the floor. And they've come out and they've played with a good sense of calmness about them. And a lot of that has to go back to their coach. Craig Smith has done such an excellent job as well building this program up. And as you mentioned, 3 years ago, before he came in, they were 1-27. And now you have to lose into the Elite Eight a year ago. Here they are playing for a national championship.
We saw Hepker checking out for the moment for the Pioneers. Matt Clark going to get a shot to try to jumpstart this offense. Runberg kicks out to Clark. He'll let it fly from 3, too strong with a rebound by Hawkins. And finally, the Pioneers on the board.
Well, that's what we mentioned, second chance opportunities. Thus far, they've done a good job eliminating their good, solid looks on those second chances, but Hawkins did a nice job getting his feet underneath him that time and going towards the rim.
Hawkins averaging about 19 per game so far in this NAIA tourney. And Clark trying to save it and steal the Pioneers a little bit out of kilter.
Yeah, good substitution here, though, by Coach Smith, because you took out Rogers, you took out Stenjim on the last substitution, and you're up 11-0. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't make any changes. Only 5 minutes into the game, up 11-0. But he gets him back in quick, just a quick blow. I'm sure that's a smart move from the standpoint of a lot of times your anxiety gets underneath you. You got so much excitement when you start a game like this, and to get to the hot start, I'm sure they were sucking wind a little bit.
Boy, Stenjim, nice little nifty footwork on the baseline, and the lead back to 11.
I really think the Pioneers should settle things down. They need to focus a little bit more at their defensive end of the floor. And then offensively, just be patient. Work it around. Don't be afraid to utilize some of the shot clock.
Hawkins shaking free inside, and he's got all 4 for the Pioneers.
We got to bring the double team quick on Hawkins down low, because I think size-wise, there's just not very good matchups for the Comets.
Hawkins sprained an ankle a couple of weeks ago, battled through it, and he has played at a high level so far here in this championship week. Tramel Gilaw into the game for Mayville State, dumping down to Rogers, has it blocked away by Quinn War. He had 5 blocks in the semifinals, and maybe that will ignite the Pioneers. Neller on the low block. Hawkins turnaround, using the window.
Now you see how good Hawkins is down low. He's got some good body control. He's able to catch it. Spin move, whether it's step back, rocket it back. You see if this is the last basket before this one. A nice rip through right there and a step through to finish at the rim. And then at the opposite end of the floor, they call him the Windex man. Well, at least I'll call him the Windex man, because defense leads to offense. Hawkins with a nice kiss off the glass. A great job defensively, blocking the interior presence down low.
Hawkins out for the moment to get a blow. Marcus Benjamin losing the handle. And Neller leading the charge back for Mid-America Nazarene. Hepker, kick out, Neller. No three, but War with a tip.
And this is where the size and athleticism of the Pioneers starts to rear its head. It's an 8-2 run right now for the Pioneers.
Gelaw can't hit the jumper. Stenjum, strong in the middle, won't go. Loose ball, finally corralled by the Comets. And Gelaw, did he step on the end line? No, they're going to call a foul. And the foul will go against Brenton Bell, trying to defend along the baseline.
I like the aggressiveness, though. You can see it out of both teams. They're responding well. Early, it was the Comets coming out, fired up, taking the punch to the Pioneers. Now the Pioneers are trying to counterpunch a little bit. Classic heavyweight matchup between these two teams.
And check it, the foul on Jake Neller. That's the first for the Pioneers. Comets just with one so far.
Let me check that. It's not necessarily a heavyweight fight, but the offense that we have out of both these two teams.
You've got a bantamweight with speed in the form of Ron Howard, taking it right to the cup. Howard was one credit short of being eligible in the first semester, did the job in the classroom, got back on the court, and boy, he's been a spark plug all season long for this Comet squad. On the drive is Hepker, and he's fouled, and he is so adept at doing that.
Well, he does a great job initiating contact. Maybe too good of a job, because last night he had 3 offensive fouls called against him driving towards the hoop. As a defender, you have to have an awareness. When Hepker puts it on the floor, he's going to come right at you. So hold your spot, take the foul right on your chest, and you go ahead and get the charge. But if not, he's going to make a living at the free throw line, 77% on the year.
He's got an interesting game. Also shoots about 56, 57% from the field, which is crazy number for a guard.
Yeah, especially the way that he plays, too. I mean, he plays on the brink of being out of control many, many times. He's like a little water bug just scooting across the top of the water. He just keeps slipping and sliding past defenders. They don't know how to stop him. That's probably why his name first-team All-American this year.
It certainly is the case. And after being down by 11 early, the Pioneers here have cut it to 5. Approaching the 12-minute mark, first half. Tice double teamed, and the foul called inside.
Good call by the official all over that one.
That one will be on War. His first. Hawkins was there defending as well. And Tice will step to the strike. 73% from the free throw line. The first one is good. Tyson 10 points in the semifinal win against Northwest of Washington.
I really like the way the Comets have come out here tonight. They were very business-like today at shoot-around. They came out, walked through everything. They took their shots. Not a lot of conversation going on amongst the guys. They were ready to go. They were focused, and I think that's one of the things this coaching staff has done an excellent job is changing the mindset of this team, teaching them maturity, teaching them to mold them to become young men. And they've played like it through the last six days here. Now will they be able to finish it off against a team that a lot of people have been keeping their eye on all season long?
They certainly have. Mayville, you got to figure, the underdog coming into this one. But they have played at the top of their game so far. Runberg ringing up a 3. And the Pioneers back within 4. And Howard out of control and out of bounds. Now the Pioneers of Mid-America Nazarene got their game going in the right direction. Tight one now, first half here from Missouri.
The Rawlings 10 presents T-Mac in Save That Dude Over There Who's Fallen.
T-Mac, that dude over there's fallen. Save him.
Let's go. Grab the ball, dude who's falling.
It's the Rawlings 10. It's got more grip.
Thanks, T-Mac.
No problem, dude who was falling.
The Rawlings 10. More grooves, more grip, more game. Stay tuned next time for Save That Cat in the Tree.
T-Mac, save me, save me.
Daktronics is recognized worldwide as a leading scoreboard and electronic display company. Thousands of schools and sports facilities count on Daktronics for innovative, reliable products that add excitement and entertainment. For any sport, for any level of competition, for any size arena or stadium, give your fans even more to cheer about with a Daktronics scoreboard and display system. Daktronics is proud to be the official scoreboard, timer, video, message center, and stats software provider of the NAIA.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Bill Rosentrader speaking, Public Relations Director for the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics. We are here in the magnificent $6 million Municipal Auditorium of Kansas City, Missouri tonight.
4-point game here, first half of this NAIA National Championship. A basketball day, though, small in the life of Aquin War. He was one of the thousands of lost boys from Sudan, forced to flee their homeland along with his mother, Monica, and others. Aquin walked 1,800 miles to freedom. Thousands didn't make it. They drowned, were shot by military forces, eaten by wild animals, or died from hunger, dehydration, or fatigue. He managed to survive and now thrive here in America. Grew up in Des Moines, got there in 8th grade, was 5'7", didn't play basketball till January of his senior year in high school, now 6'7", and boy, he has developed into a great basketball student athlete, and now a person that lives and calls this country home.
Well, I tell you what, and he's a person that needs to be admired by anyone that's at home watching this game, any one of the fans, because of everything that he's gone through. Look at your own life and try to picture yourself walking 1,800 miles in desert terrain. And that's unheard of, and for him to be able to get to where he's at right now is a true testament to the strength of his mother, because that's the overlooked portion of it, is how his mother protected him and made sure and guided him and put him in a situation where now he's living a dream, not only for himself, but of many other kids here in the United States that play high school basketball across the country, to be able to play for a national championship, and here he is getting it done.
And making the most of that opportunity. Tice with another bucket for Mayville. He's got 4 now, and it's back to a 6-point lead for the Comets.
Mayville, after that first time out when they were trailing 11-0, come out of the break. You go 5 of 6 from timeout to timeout, so made some good adjustments. Now it's time for Mayville to make their adjustments and make a counter push again.
Howard on the break, gets it to Reinhardt in traffic. Going to be a foul on Kibbers. Kibbers missed all of last season, messed up a knee, had surgery before the year and sat out at the end. The entire starting 5 from this Mid-American Nazarene squad came back, and then they added Kibbers. When you can add 6'9" to an experienced bunch, that's the recipe for good things, and it's happened for the Pioneers.
Especially here at NAIA Division II. I mean, you look at the size for a lot of these two teams. You're not seeing a bunch of guys that are 6'9" out there. So you can really utilize that to your advantage. And Kibbers has certainly been able to do that this year. Before we get too far, though, can I just say, the grub here has been unbelievable. Tonight they make your own pasta. Last night they had a meatloaf. We talk about some great food at College of the Ozarks here for the NAIA Division II.
These teams and athletic folks treated like royalty here during the week. It is a first-class run operation here. At this one, it has been fantastic, and the folks in schools from the NAIA certainly appreciate the hospitality here from the Branson area.
Good pressure being applied right now by Mayville, trying to just give them a little bit of a different look, try to shake things up a little bit on the Pioneers, because again, primarily Mayville will play their man-to-man defense. We might see a little 2-3 zone out of them tonight, but a majority of the time, I'd say a good 80 to 85% of the possessions you're going to see, it's going to be matchup man-to-man.
And this is a little slower pace than we expected, as the Comets have forced the Pioneers into some half-court sets, blocked by Rogers. War able to pick up the loose ball, but his pass deflected out of bounds, will stay at this end.
I was looking to go block to block. Hawkins was open on the opposite side. Good job defensively. Get your hand up. Just deflected enough out of bounds.
Hepker for 3, and that rattles down.
They do an excellent job, really working their out-of-bounds underneath plays. They score a lot of their buckets coming out of that.
Alley-oop inside. Rogers got it. Had to come back down, but then puts it down.
Great awareness that time by Marcus Benjamin, pushing the ball up the floor, finding him.
And talking about pushing it, that's Hepker's game.
Did you mention the tempo was slowing down? Is that what you just said a couple
seconds ago?
I think they may have heard me.
Well, that's what both of these teams are quite capable of doing, is moving at warp speed. And Hepker with a steal. Ahead of the pack. Avoids the defense, can't finish. Neller rebound, and he's hacked.
Hepker that time tried to avoid the defense maybe a little bit too much, trying to get the and one rather than just taking it straight to the rim. But I think maybe he did that because he knew Neller was right behind him. Had the opportunity to get the garbage man to clean it on up, draw the foul, get to the free throw line. A good job by both of these teams right now. You knew this game was going to settle down. This wasn't going to be, a 25-2 start. I was surprised with the 11-0 start as it was. So you knew things were going to settle down. Guys were going to start taking over and start playing well, and both teams have done that so far.
Zach Alvidrez back in the game. There's a look at Jacob Neller.
He does, but one thing I love about Jacob is the passion he plays the game with. Last night he was scratching, he was clawing. The coach had to tell him, Jake, calm down a little bit. I don't want you to get into technical the night before the finals. But certainly I like that passion in a player because he brings a certain level of toughness to the Pioneers.
Quick answer as the Comets break the press, and Benjamin feeding Stengen.
You're going to press. You got to be, if you're going to press and extend your defense, you might give up some layups by time, but you can consistently live by that because sometimes it can create turnovers, especially with the speed and athleticism. But this, unlike many games for both these two teams, it's mirror images as far as their strengths of their team.
Moore on the offensive end. He'll put it down. Quinn Moore gets the bucket, and the Pioneers knocking on the door of Mayville State. 2-point game. Pressure in the backcourt again from Hepker. Benjamin thought about the three. The Pioneer fans wanted to travel, won't get it, but they will get the ball. Rebound Runberg. Mid-America Nazarene with a chance to tie it up or take its first lead of the game. Hawkins, baseline turn, no. Rebound to Gila. Out of bounds off Hepker. So you got that little black eye suffered in a game this week.
That's those battle scars. Those are great things. Those are stories. By the time he gets back to school, he was in the alley after the game, and 5 guys came up to him. I mean, he's going to be a hero. Well, he's going to be a hero anyways, especially if they win a national championship. It's already a first-team All-American.
It certainly has gotten the job done. The other first-team All-American in this game, Rogers.
And he's got 10. So a great start for him, sizzling right from the get-go. And that's the thing I love about his game is he can also shoot that mid-range jumper. He's so comfortable floating out to the short corner.
And a block by Rogers. Shut down Hawkins. Comets setting up. Karachka for 3-0. Rebound by Gila.
Magila did a nice job down low on the block, pushing away the defender, creating that space to get their second chance opportunity. And one thing I really noticed there too is he went weak side. So he stayed weak side. He didn't follow the ball over and go try to call for the ball on that side. He knew the three-pointer was coming.
Runberg may have forced one for the baseline. Tries to get the steal to make up for it. Hits the deck and is back at it. Karachka for a 3-0. And that time, no rebounder in position for the Comets. Hepker.
The way he probes the defense, flattens it out completely. He's able to find his teammates out on the perimeter. I like Hepker's game, and a nice decision that time to pull it back out. The one thing that's really impressed me about the Pioneers over the course of this tournament is just how unselfish they are as a team.
And the open man usually is found. The Comets, though, so far has done a good job of slowing things down. Hepker short, hit the deck. No call. Gila at the other end. And we've got it over the back call against Rogers. Now these two teams going at it in a Quinn War, helping out the cause here in America. 6-point game between the Comets and Pioneers.
Wow, your skin's soft. What? It's really supple. So? You know, it's nice.
There's no shame in soft skin. Old Spice Body Wash.
For those who serve others, we serve you. We're TIAA CREF. With our range of financial products and services, including personalized objective advice, we have the expertise to help you plan for and live in retirement. So whatever stage you're at in preparing for your future, we can help. TIAA CREF, financial services for the greater good.
Imagine a basketball guaranteed to stay inflated. Introducing the Never Flat from Spalding. Inside, large nitroflate molecules block smaller air molecules from escaping, so the ball stays inflated 10 times longer. The Never Flat from Spalding. True to the game.
Last year, College of the Ozarks won the national championship here at home, and it was packed. It's still packed tonight, even with the host school, not the championship. Mayville, state of North Dakota, leading Mid-American Nazarene of Kansas here the first half. How are the teams getting ready for the NCAA tournament? What's the game plan for those do-or-die showdowns? Well, do the coaches feel like they're ready for March Madness? Get the answers to all those questions and more tomorrow at 1 Eastern. 7 straight hours of coverage from press conferences from coaches like Roy Williams, Billy Donovan, and more on Full Court Press, only here on CSTV. Now the folks from Mid-American Nazarene, just outside of Kansas City, making the trek about 3 hours down here. They have been in this position for 9 straight trips to the NAIA tourney. They were in the Final Four last year, lost in the semis, now in the championship, trying to bring it home for the first time. Ditto for Mayville, 3rd straight year for the Comets, also looking for the first hoop title in school history. Blocked by Tice.
Great job defensively that time. Slow rotations, they had him wide open, and then the guy comes over, blocks the shot by Tice. That's a heck of a rotation, especially after making a mistake.
Kibbers with an air ball from the corner for 3. Not necessarily his strong point. Rogers, and he's fouled and will step to the line. That's going to be on Kibbers.
As you take a look here, both guys slide here. Here's Ward down low on the baseline. You see him wide open as we let it roll. Good rotation back. Here he comes to slide in. Ty's going to break down and block the shot. Does a nice job rotating over, covering for the mistake, and be able to block that shot for his team. Also saves the possession, allows them to try to come down the other end, add some more points. But that's the little things that you do out there that can help you win a championship.
Now, defense big for the Comets in their semifinal win over Northwest, especially on the defensive glass. And we talked about it earlier. They were down 10 early in the second half. Then they really clamped down, tightened up, and got after it. And now defense at the center of the court. Good stop by Benjamin to read the pass and pick it off.
Looked like a defensive back going back, and a misread by the quarterback. Jumped up in the passing route and able to steal that one.
And didn't take it to the end zone yet. It's still a chance to get points off it, but no dice. They turn it right back over. Kibbers finds the open man, Neller.
Poor decision that time by Ron Howard. He tried to stop the ball instead of getting back defensively. Failed to realize there was a man behind him. Got to sprint back, find, match up, and then try to figure out where the ball is. I think the ball would have been stopped before. They would have been able to get all the way down and dump off that pass to Neller, but a good job by Neller sprinting down the floor.
And Neller's got 4 now. He had 9 in the semis. 23 in the quarterfinals, including 5 threes. A shot clock at 8. Howard in traffic, turns, fires, and hits.
Well, a little unorthodox, but the finish, it counts just the same.
And that's making something out of nothing right there. Howard able
He'll do that from time to time.
He sure will. In the semifinals, start of the game, he put up 2 air balls from 3 that had no chance of going in. But then he harnessed his game, took it to the hole more, and helped his team get on track. Benjamin leading the break. Rogers. Rebound Ward. The outlet to Bell. And he'll set up Neller.
Nice job by Bell that time. Taking it in, making the defense commit to him, then finding Neller. for the easy bucket.
Neller's got 6. Pioneers claw back within 4 here with under 4 to go first half of this NAIA Division II National Championship. Jason Knapp, Sean Farnham here from Point Lookout, Missouri. Hope you're enjoying it. We sure are. Howard out of bounds. It'll be Pioneer basketball. This 32-team tournament, you need 5 wins in 6 days to get it. Passes like that, that'll help the cause.
I am so happy. With you, I feel like a new person. You're so giving. I've decided. You're the one I want.
Choice matters. Choose Highland Dairy products for great taste and a healthier lifestyle. Highland products are packed with nutrition and unbeatable quality.
I love you.
Highland, it's a splash of fresh flavor.
A public service alert about a diet that's sweeping America.
I've lost a lot on this diet. My job.
I've been on this diet since I was 8, and I've lost my ability to stay in school.
I worked extra night shifts to get off this diet, but I lost time to take care of my kids.
The diet is hunger, and what 35 million Americans lose from this diet is staggering. Help the Sodexo Foundation stop hunger. Go to helpstophunger.org.
How does College of the Ozarks, a small liberal arts college near Branson, Missouri, get all this national publicity? Maybe it's because it openly discourages its students from piling up debt. Maybe it's because of its nationally known convocation series.
We're going to talk about leadership and character.
Maybe it's because it hosts a national basketball championship. And for certain, it's a great place to get an education. Come catch the excitement at Hard Work U.
4-point game here, late first half of this NAIA National Championship affair. Well, the only places to watch live NCAA men's basketball tournament games are on CBS and now CSTV. Tune in Thursday at 5 p.m. CSTV brings you Vanderbilt and George Washington. Then Friday at 12:15 Eastern, Virginia and Albany, all part of Championship Central possession. CSTV.
You mean I get to watch the Great Danes?
You do.
Take on Virginia on CSTV. What a deal.
Sean Singletary and the Cavaliers will be right there.
Pitcher in a pitcher.
You'll be doubling up. Mayville off the turnover. Benjamin on the take. It hits the deck and he'll go to the line.
Good job that time. I really like the aggressiveness that we're seeing out of Mayville on the offensive end of the floor. I think defensively, they've begun to get a little bit slow in their defensive transition. But I like their offensive push. I like their aggressiveness. They're not allowing the Pioneers to get settled on the defensive end of the floor. And the other stat that we touched on, rebounding was going to be key in this one. Well, Mayville has equaled Mid-America Nazarene on the boards at 17 apiece. They both got 7 offensive rebounds. They lead in second chance opportunities. So certainly this has been a good start for Mayville.
Kivers steps out with his second personal. He's drawn a lot of the tough defensive assignments for the Pioneers so far in this tournament. But he'll sit for the moment. You would assume maybe for the rest of the first half. Neller looking, Runberg on the baseline, the kick out, and you see the good ball movement again for the Pioneers. War triple teamed, and no hoop, but the Pioneers do keep the ball.
That's good defensive rotations. Here's 1, 2, 3. That ball is going to, it actually did get blocked by 2 for Mayville Comets, and that's good awareness because they understand that down low in the paint is where they can have a lot of problems in today's game. And after a slow start, guys like Hawkins have gotten going pretty well. They got 6 points there. War's got 4, so they've done a good job interiorly, though, as far as collapsing and rotating over defensively.
And Matt Stenjum, flag for his second personal here, off the restart. And War at the line. The first one won't fall. Stenjum will come out, and Rogers returns. Monty Rogers talking about his coach, Craig Smith, says he's brutally honest, tells you what you need to know and how you should go about fixing a problem. Passionate, personified. Rogers will try to catch that one. In tight quarters, can't keep it in play.
You see Rogers, and you're going to see him from down low. He can get up high. He's a high riser. Comes down just out of bounds. I think that maybe not be the best time to go ahead and throw it. They like to do that. We saw it last night, and he's able to finish it at the rim. Certainly we might see another one of those before this game is over.
And the Dakota Athletic Conference Player of the Year. 12 points, 4 rebounds in the semifinals. Boy, the look on his face last night, we talked to him after a game. You know you're playing for a national championship tomorrow, and he couldn't quite comprehend it at that moment.
Well, evidently they've been able to comprehend it here in the first half, playing extremely well. Rogers specifically has got 10.
Bell had it knocked away, and the Comets look to come back. They average about 10 steals per game, and they have had quick hands in this one.
Here's where I work it around. I try to isolate Rogers, clear out some space, and let him try to go to work.
Rogers there turning. And the Pioneers move it back. And they'll set up in the half court. A lot of times, if they're deliberate here, if there's no shot, Hepker will get the ball back out high, and he'll wait for the shot clock to wind down and take care of business. Not this time. Baseline. Open man is Bell, and he hits. That's a triple. And it's a 2-point game.
Rundberg, though, I said earlier, he's a chemistry guy. He had a wide open look there, and he passed it up to the better perimeter shooter. That's unselfishness. That's what this team is about. That's why they average 21 assists a game. An excellent job by the Pioneers distributing the basketball.
Howard on the drive, no. Roar rips down the rebound. And here's that team guy, Rundberg. Sets up Bell. No back-to-back threes for him. 70 seconds left to go here, first half. Rogers right away, blocked by War. Rundberg gets the loose change of the Pioneers, surging back.
Excellent job by War. He's the type of guy. Okay, let's put it this way. Block shots, he has over 2 times as many as the Comets have on the entire season as a team by himself. So certainly he can block shots. That's one of the best things of his game.
Averaging more than 3 per game, but he can do a little bit more than that. Almost had a chance to get 3 the hard way, but will have the chance to earn 2 from the strike.
Rogers spins around, and you have to have an awareness when you're playing a team with a great shot blocker like War is. You can't just turn around and do your normal moves, because he's going to be there, especially when he's coming over from the help side position. He's going to send that one packing.
And that was almost identical to what he did last night. Second half in the semifinals, he had a block at one end, then a bucket and foul. Made the free throw in the ensuing possession to help seal the victory.
Really a great guy before the game, and shoot around. I said, hey, you're going to give me 10 block shots tonight. I love talking about block shots. He goes, okay. Who was it even like, oh, 10 blocks, that's an awful lot, sir. You're asking. No, I can do that for you. Great kid, great young man, and as we touched on earlier, great story. It's nice to see him being able to excel at this level too. I mean, 3rd team all-conference for him. I mean, that's a very big accomplishment.
Considering, too, only played basketball for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. Not the best free throw shooter in the world. I think he'd even admit that.
This Pioneer squad did the job enough last night to help seal the victory and off the restart. Hepker.
Second time on out of bounds underneath that they've been able to score. That's 5 points. We got ourselves a tied ball game with under 40 seconds to go here. And 5 points of their 31 have come on out of bounds underneath. That is brilliant coaching and brilliant execution by the Pioneers underneath. Here's what you see. You see just a little simple slip. And that's poor awareness by Benjamin. He was thinking that he was going to come over the top and maybe get a double screen on the strong side. And he just, Kemper being so straight, goes ahead, just goes right down the baseline, slips it.
First time we've been tied since we started at zip-zip. At one point, the lead for Mayville was 11 at the outset, but the Pioneers have chopped away at it, and now we're dead even here late first half.
I think if you're Coach Craig Smith, you're looking at the shot clock.
And we'll see if they do that or they draw up something else. Right now, Benjamin's going to kill some time. Aguilar almost lost the handle, but got it back. 12 to go. Aguilar, he'll take the three from straight away. No. Rogers, rebound. Baseline. Hits iron, and that's it.
6 points in the final 6 minutes of the half for Mayville. That's why we got ourselves a tie ball game.
They started strong, but the Pioneers finished the half strong. And we are right back where we started. All even here at the break here at the NAIA Division II National Championship. Missouri basketball friendly too, 31 apiece as we get set to start the second half. Well, CSTV finds out if two hoop nuts are fan enough to handle a road trip of a lifetime on Hoops Odyssey, presented by New Balance 810 Trail Shoe. Follow our duo at hoopsodyssey.com. They travel 8,000 miles, catching more than 50 matchups, all culminating with the men's national championship in Atlanta. NCAA basketball coverage all season long. Possession CSTV. Well, those guys going all over the place. And the folks from Mayville, they get a little bonus prize for this trek. We mentioned over 900 miles, whole host of them making the trek down here, about 14 hours to come down from North Dakota. Mayville, town of about 2,000. Town might be shut tonight.
Well, just look at the hats right here. I mean, look at the orange hats they've got down low. Guess where they picked those up? Truck stop in Fargo. How much do they cost? $1.99. That is bargain shopping by the Mayville students. $1.99?
That's good.
That's a great deal. I mean, it's stylish. The orange, you can't find fluorescent orange hats with birds on them like that. They got a little duck on them.
And speaking of things that come cheap, how about free sneakers? Not illegal, but borrowed sneakers. You see, Adam Hepker blew out his normal pair in the quarterfinals, so maybe didn't have time to run out and get another pair, so he borrowed them from teammate Dutch Thomas. So he's got black on. He's superstitious, and they worked pretty well in the semis. 21 points, 5 assists, and they're doing good so far here in this one. He's got 9 in the first half in borrowed kicks.
Well, sometimes you get a little superstitious. You believe in it. He's the only guy on the Pioneers roster right now wearing black shoes. And the whole entire bench, they're all nice. They're all dressed up in white shoes, besides the coaches who are styling, by the way.
It's good.
Styling.
Your star, you got to recruit another kid with the same shoe size.
Right, exactly.
Just in case.
That wouldn't be bad thought process. I'll just be honest with you. That's actually a good thought process. Have you done that before?
I don't know. Maybe I've got a recruiting career somewhere along the way. The second half underway. Hepker pulls up. Won't get it to go. Rebound to Stenjum. He's got 2 fouls, along with Tice for Mayville State. And Kibbers has 2. Only guys in a little bit of foul trouble so far in this one.
Hepker's shot looks a little bit flatter today than it did last night, and we touched on that in the open. As far as getting your legs underneath you, being able to have the endurance to go 5 games in 6 days, and right now his shot isn't having that same lift that we saw last night.
That's a good point, and something to watch. Who's got something left at the end of this one? Both of these teams have had a couple of tight contests. 1-point win for Mayville in the quarterfinals, and a 2-point win on a buzzer beater by Hawkins in the second round. And they convert with Neller, who's had the opportunity to find some layups inside tonight. Now we've got an offensive foul here against Mayville State. And if that's on Stenjum, it is. That's his 3rd.
Nice job interior passing by War. Dumping it down to the cutting teammate, Neller. Able to finish it at the rim. And then a good job by Stenjum, setting the illegal screen. He goes to the bench because of it for Mayville, but you got to be concerned, I think, right now for the Comets, because remember last night, this is the time they came out of the locker room and they were down by 10 in a hurry. They're going to do the same thing here tonight, because if they do that, it's going to be even more difficult against this team to come back.
Hawkins with his first bucket of the second half. He's now got 8. And Mid-America Nazarene leads by 2. War may have got a piece on that last one. And Pioneer ball.
Assistant coach for the Pioneers, Coach Fleming, Excellent job scouting, recruiting, making sure that things are going the right way. Trust me, he knows that this team came out flat last night in the second half, and he's told his Pioneers, I'm sure, in the locker room that they're going to come out and let's take the punch right to them. We'll see Coach Lamar. Doing an excellent job. He's got a great staff underneath him. They've had a great deal of success, as you mentioned, 9 consecutive years at this tournament. That speaks volume for the type of team that they are. On the flip side of it, Coach Smith on the other end, he wants to get the level where they can come 9 consecutive years in a row.
And certainly a great accomplishment, and Craig Smith paying he and his program some kudos as well, saying, I'd like to build Mayville State to be a Duke or a North Carolina or Kansas of the NAIA, much like Rocky Lamar has done with Mid-America Nazarene. And being at this national tournament every single year.
I don't think about the last 2 years for Mayville, an Elite 8 a year ago, lost to Oregon Tech. Now all of a sudden come back this year, they're in the finals, and then you couldn't ask for more. I mean, that's well on your way of being able to accomplish that.
Rogers misfires from in close. Hepker gets it back. The open man war rolls out.
Really surprised he didn't just spring up and dunk that one. He has the verticality to do it.
He had a high-flying jam, and there's some of that elevation on the defensive end. Triggers the Pioneer break. Hepker. They've got a foul on the floor.
Talk about the length and touched on the verticality of it all. Here's the shot. Yeah, that's not going to work so much. Look at War. Just come on the weak side. He is so good at reacting and coming over from that weak side position to slide over and clean up his teammates' messes. And I tell you what, that's got to give you a lot of confidence if you're playing a guard on the perimeter. You're like, hey, if he gets by me, I'm okay with that. Ward's going to clean up my mess.
Howard thinking, oh, I might have a shot at this one, and then nope, taken away. Now War on the offensive glass. Gets the roll. 4-point cushion right now for the Pioneers. Their largest lead in this one after trailing for most of the first half.
Rogers on the bench right now. He was the most prolific scorer in the first half for the Comets. Ron Howard's got to get something going.
Howard driving in, rolls out. And Hawkins bringing it across the timeline for the Pioneers. Howard had 16 points in the semifinal, but he has been thwarted for the most part tonight.
2 of 8 from the field thus far in this contest.
Neller, that's his specialty, team leader in threes, striking big time.
You need a timeout if you're the Comets. You need to stop the bleeding. You can't, like I said, you can't fall behind by 10. They're down by 7 right now. And the reason for why it's going on is there's breakdowns offensively, and then defensively they try the zone. And a great way to bust the zone is by hitting the perimeter shot. And Neller able to knock it down. As you see, when Neller gets the ball, both guys come running at him, but it was just a step too late. The celebration is on, and Neller feels it. Touched on it earlier, his passion for the game of basketball. Certainly a big reason for the success for the Pioneers over the course of this season. Coach Smith, you got to figure out something offensively because nothing is working right now. Too much is taking place on dribble penetration. There's not a lot of great man movement, ball movement, not a lot good unselfishness right now going on the floor. And I think you got to move it a little bit. Make the Pioneers shift their defense 1 or 2 times. If they're able to do that, you're going to find then lanes to get to the hoop and be able to score. And maybe War's not going to be standing right underneath the basket, able to block it.
With so many options on the offensive end for the Pioneers. You know, teams excited to have a 1,000-point score over their career. Pioneers had 3 guys crack the 1,000 mark just this season in Hepker, Neller, and Runberg.
And you know the fans from Mayville, you see them. Their excitement is not going to stop. That's one thing you can guarantee. Both student sections so well supported. From Mayville, they're fired up. They're happy to be here. They're happy that their team has made the run that they have made. And they're going to try to build it and now push it to another level. But and able to push it, you've got to stop that. A 9-2 run. And you see the fans upstairs. I'll be honest with you, they packed the joint.
They have.
The Pioneer fans have packed the joint here tonight.
The folks from Olathe, just outside of Kansas City, have made their presence felt. And again, the Pioneers have been down this road before. 9 straight trips to the tournament, and they lost in the championship game in 2001, 82-78 to Northwestern of Iowa, team they beat in the semifinals last night. And those two teams really are the longtime powers here. Both of them this year made their 12th trip overall
and
to
you look
this
at
national tournament.
A shocker earlier in the tournament, Bellevue was expected to be playing tonight. They're gone. They went home. You know, College of the Ozarks, defending national champions. They were out, and they had the tournament here on their home floor. So certainly every tournament, you know, expected in March Madness. It starts on Thursday. Now the Madness has already begun in March for NAIA Division II, and it ends tonight.
Yeah, it certainly is the case. Raleigh Massimino here as well, coaching a new program at Northwood of Florida. That squad made it here too to the championship round. They lost in their opening affair. Speaking of somebody who knows about the magic of March, all these fans, they'd like to celebrate and see their team hoist some hardware. Mid-American Nazarene leads second half.
Hey, get on board. The showboat Branson Belle is moving out. Outside, she reigns over a pristine lake and purple mountain majesty. But inside, she's your hostess to excitement, fine dining, and Broadway on the water. The showboat Branson Belle is such an unforgettable voyage. You'll feel good all over, inside and out. Come on, get on board.
What the people need is a way to make them smile. It ain't so hard to do if you know how. Whoa, whoa, listen to the music. Whoa, whoa, listen to the music all the time.
Come listen to the music. Call 1-800-BRANSON or visit explorebranson.com.
On the right track. The Track Family Fun Parks in Branson. Fun any way you look at it.
The fun is at the Track Family Fun Parks.
Back here in Missouri, Mid-American Nazarene leading. Bill Fleming, assistant coach, back in his head coaching days at Maquoketa High School in Iowa, had a point guard by the name of Rocky Lamar. And all these years later, he's now helping out his old point guard as an assistant coach on the bench. And well, a few years back, they recruited a kid out of Maquoketa High School, name of Adam Hepker. So the lineage from that town in Iowa continues in the southeast corner, making their presence felt in Kansas and now in Missouri with a chance to bring their little piece of a national championship to their hometown.
A good job by the Pioneers here in the second half, limiting Mayville to only one look. They have really stepped up their intensity on the glass.
Matt Clark back in the game for the Pioneers.
Mayville back to that man-to-man defense after getting burned by Neller from the outside.
And Hepker getting a breather here. 5 minutes deep into the second half. Hawkins alertly got the rebound. Here's Clark for three. That's short. And Tice in position for the rebound. Karachka, baseline pull-up.
Offense just has lacked that flow that we saw earlier in the game. When they broke out to that 11-0 lead, everything was working right offensively. Their cuts were hard. Their passing was crisp and clean. And now we haven't seen that out of Mayville, and the Pioneers are taking advantage of that.
And a lot of that coming off that transition, off great defense, and there, Hawkins, good position on the interior.
And what people don't know about Hawkins, he's a former all-state football player, came to campus, was going to play football. Then they said, hey, you know what, why don't you come play some open gym with the basketball team? Does so well, they're like, hey, never mind football. We want you to play basketball for us, and what a great decision. Second-team All-American this year, and touched on his numbers from last night, 18 and 15, and having a big game again tonight here in the championship.
Neller for three. You don't think they hid the shoulder pads and helmet on Hawkins and just handed him the basketball? That ball rattles out.
They might have. It was a great decision, though.
He certainly proved it. Second team All-America status for Hawkins this year, the NAIA.
Only a sophomore, too, so if you think about the time that he has, I mean, he could be, you got him, and you got Hempker coming back next year. I mean, what a great foundation to build your house from, having those two guys back in your lineup next year.
Hawkins averaging almost a double-double. There you see Lundberg with the foul. Now Hepker returns.
More importantly, Rogers returns for the Comets. Get him involved back in this offense right away.
Howard squeezing through the defense, and on cue, Rogers with a follow tip.
That momentarily stops the bleeding for him. Only 4 points in the first 7 minutes of the second half for Mayville.
And deliberate action right now for the Pioneers.
I'm surprised the pacing of this game has slowed down so much here in the second half. Pioneers seem very content to work it around and make Mayville play defense. I think it's a brilliant move by Coach Lamar. And because Mayville, again, not noted for its defense, likes to get up and down the floor, likes to pressure, create turnovers and steals, and try to convert at the other end. The Pioneers, by being patient, if they can maintain and not turn over the ball, they're going to find open looks. And they've done that here in the second half. Big reason why they have a 7-point lead.
And you see the shooting percentages for both teams, hovering around 40%. Out high, sent it to Bell, lost the handle, but got it back. 10 on the shot clock now.
Here comes the high screen. Hepker's going to come off, and he's going to pull up and hit a mid-range jump shot.
And they jumped the screen there.
Good job jumping the screen. That's one of the things they touched on at shoot-around earlier today. Last night, Hepker came off that screen. In that exact situation, it must have buried at least 3 or 4 shots. So excellent scouting by Coach Smith and his staff. Today at shoot-around, they were talking about how they were going to jump out on that screen, and they did a nice job defensively rotating out and forcing Hepker to make a decision to try to pass the ball to somebody else and make them hit the last-second shot. Subsequently, they bought themselves a turnover.
And they'll take it right now as they try to chop down at this 7-point advantage for Mid-America Nazarene. Comets led by 11 to start things off. And now the Pioneers looking to pull away. Gilon on the drive, no go. And the Pioneers look to push it back. And the Comets alertly getting back in defensive position. And again, this is strange in time to see his squad pull it out and wait.
Well, what great teams do. Sometimes your tempo, your flow might not necessarily work quite as well.
That's going to be a foul there on Benjamin. Rocky Lamar trying to keep pushing his squad. The fans here have been up in arms and cheering their squads on. Back and forth we've gone with the Pioneers with the advantage here. Closer to a national title.
Find a place nearby for her to stay. Keep me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting
old. Shearing. Enemy of engines. Enemy of sharing, Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic with adaptive molecules that continually separate and reform to help conquer the forces that can tear oil molecules apart. Not just oil, Pennzoil.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. wins at Richmond. Hey, guys. You know that NASCAR Hot Pass only on DirecTV? Could have ridden shotgun with me the whole race. Monitored my car's telemetry. Even heard everything me and Tony Jr. said on the radio. Sorry about that little exchange on lap 31. We'll clean that up next time.
Ride shotgun with top NASCAR drivers. Only on DirecTV.
Mid-America Nazarene by 7 here over Mayville State. Jason Knapp and Sean Farnham. You talk about jumping the screen, Sean. Explain.
Well, here's what's going to happen. You're going to see some great action here coming off the top. And subsequently, what you see is 4 guys all right there. You see this is the action that you want to look at. Now you want to see this man rotate over and help. Is he able to do it? Well, yeah, they do a great job. And subsequently, you see the congestion right there. Hepker can't do anything with it. He's got to throw the ball behind. Turnover created. Excellent job defensively with the rotations that they want to do. Mayville doing exactly what the coach touched on earlier in shoot-around.
We'll see if they can adjust to that if that sequence happens again. And Hepker, 13 on the shot clock. No screen this time. He'll take it one-on-one and make it.
And that's the adjustment they had to make because of the jump switch. Good job by Coach Lamar saying, hey, we go one-on-one. We got faith that your speed is able to break down the defense and you can pull up and shoot it.
Howard fouled on the drive, and here's Hepker all alone on Howard.
Yeah, no screen, and you see him staying on balance, going straight up and down, able to finish. And Hepker, he's a warrior. I mean, that's watching him play for the last 2 nights. He's a warrior. He's a guy that loves the game of basketball. He's not afraid, even at his size, to go ahead and get hit and get knocked around, get thrown to the floor, get a black eye. Doesn't matter to him. He just loves the sport. He wants to continue to play.
Coach Rocky Lamar said earlier this year, 1 game at a season-high 29 against Benedictine. 2 days later, took 4 shots and only 2 points and said he didn't care because his team won again.
Well, they've had a lot of that this year.
33-2 headed into this one of the Pioneers. Mayville State 27-8. And each would like one more here. A pass by War, intercepted. Reinhardt stepped in front, and now Howard gives it right back.
Can't afford to have empty possessions.
Great look there to Hawkins, and Hepker with the helper.
We got ourselves a 10-point lead, and you just start to get that sense right now that the Pioneers are starting to wear down the Comets just a little bit.
And the Comets want to get Rogers involved. They do, but he can't deliver. That's the look that Mayville wanted, just not the result. Kivers, the take, and the foul.
Unbelievable, open floor, nice job, great decision by Hepker. Better finish by Kilbers. Able to get to the rim, uses the glass, does a nice job shielding the defender away so he can't get the block. And you listen to this crowd right now, and he tells you everything you need to know about how this game has gone here in the second half.
Well, Cal Kivers played high school ball against Hepker in high school. Said he knew he was good as a passer and penetrator, but playing with him opened his eyes even more. The perfect example right there. Finishes off the three-point play, and it's a 13-point lead for the Pioneers.
Touched on the youth of guys like Hawkins. Well, Kivers is awfully young as well, just a sophomore, because again, didn't play last year with the knee, torn ACL, able to come back this year and make some noise. So.
On the interior, Stenjum had it hop out. Well, the Comets just can't buy a bucket right now. They have had some good looks, but no finish.
Oh, yeah, and talk about Hawkins playing some football. Look at a little push there. And a loose ball situation. Teammates knocking each other out, trying to go after it. You love the intensity. You love the hustle of it all. But, again, it's an empty possession for Mayville. The crowd of 2,000, the city of 2,000 up in North Dakota right now, they're looking at that clock and they're looking at this score saying, boys, we got to turn it on here. We got to get back to what we were able to do to start the game and have one of those 11-0 type of runs. They're capable of doing it, obviously, because that's what happened. Coach Smith is saying, hey, we got to play smarter. Think. Let's not just go out there and throw the ball around and have turnovers and have empty the possession.
Kibbers at the line again, and it was 31 all to break. And so far, the Pioneers have outscored Mayville 20-5 here in the second half. And that's the difference, 15 points.
Well, it's coming out of the locker room, it's making adjustments, it's executing those adjustments. I mean, both these coaches know basketball. Both these coaches are trying to put their guys in great position. But to be honest, the execution portion of it in the second half has been clearly on the side of the Pioneers.
Stengen. Well, there's a lid on that puppy, and it's riveted tight right now. The Comets just cannot put it through.
If I'm Coach Smith, call a timeout, have Rogers run over and just put his hand up through the bottom of the net, just make sure that there isn't actually a lid down there, because that one should have gone down. Stengen did everything nice. Nice finish at the rim, good soft touch, and nothing goes.
The cut for Hector and another bucket, and the run continues for the Pioneers. Howard, 3-ball no. Rebound, blocked away. War with another rejection.
Well, this place is about to explode right now from all the Pioneer faithful. They're not only thinking about this lead, they're thinking about hoisting up that championship that has avoided them for the last 9 years.
Kibbers off the window. And now a 19-point margin for the Pioneers. Quite a different feeling from the 11-0 start for Mayville State. The Pioneers have turned it around.
And how have they done it? Well, they've done it with great unselfishness. First at the offensive end of the floor. Look at War. This time he completes the pass. Hepker goes ahead and finishes it. What can War do for you at the defensive end of the floor? Well, he can clean up everything and anything around the hoop. Excellent length in his arms, excellent spring from off the floor, and you see the intensity. As I mentioned earlier, Grunberg, an excellent chemistry guy on this team, and he's the one down in the huddle talking about his team. And you know what, the one thing I guarantee he's telling them is 19 points isn't good enough right now, fellas. We can't relax just because we have a 19-point lead with 8:47 left to go. We saw Mayville last night. They were trailing in the second half in double digits. They come back, they win the game. They put an 11-0 run on us early in this game. They're more than capable of doing it, but they certainly need to settle down, and they need to settle down in a hurry.
And we watched last night in the semifinals for Mid-American Nazarene. They never really put away Northwestern. And the team from Iowa got it to within 6 and 8, but they never really finished them off. Could have cost them, it didn't. But they need to have that killer instinct here and try to finish off the Comets. We're in Point Lookout, Missouri, just outside of Branson at Keeter Gymnasium. College of the Ozarks hosting this NAIA Men's Division II basketball tournament for the 8th straight year. Jason Knapp and Sean Farnham. Hope you're enjoying it. Folks here at this college put on quite a show in this community. They've just signed and extended their deal to host the event for 2 more years. And hard-pressed to have the quality of a tournament like this and a game like this. It has been end-to-end at times. Mayville stayed up by 11 at the outset, but the Pioneers and Mid-American Nazarene have come all the way back to take control.
And you know what? They're starting to break down right now. And while they're breaking down offensively, Coach Smith has decided, boys, let's pick up the press. So we're going to match up man-to-man all over the floor, try to create some turnovers. This is a good idea. Let's see how the execution of it goes, though, for the Comets.
Well, they get it into the front court easily.
You don't save anything in this situation for the Comets. I mean, you're down 19. You got 8 minutes left to go in the final game of the season. This is for the national championship. You don't want to walk away from the gym saying, well, we didn't try that. Maybe we should have.
Hawkins short on that, and Coach Smith talking about sometimes it's not X's and O's. It's about heart and desire. And who wants it more? And we'll see if the Comets can muster up something from the reserve. That might get them going. Rogers, sweet fadeaway and one.
But they wave the bucket off. They say the foul comes on the floor. And I'm telling you what, if you're Coach Smith, you're saying, seriously? Seriously? Are you kidding me? We can't get anything to break our way.
They did wave it off, but still, Rogers gets the deuce off the restart. And that pressure in the backcourt. Hawkins, double, finds the open man. Kibbers, great look, flushed by War.
We've seen his hops at one end. Now you get to see him on the offensive end of the floor. The explosibility of Mr. War.
And the unselfishness of this Pioneer squad to always make the extra pass and find the open man.
Great job with the penetration, the kick down low. And War, oh, with an emphatic finish, and it's a 19-point lead.
Hi. We just had to see you. We are such big fans. You make us feel so peppy.
Dairy matters. Choose Highland Dairy Ice Cream for a delectable taste sensation. All your favorite flavors are made with the freshest ingredients available.
We were wondering, could we have an autograph?
Highland, it's a splash of fresh flavor.
A public service alert about a diet that's sweeping America.
I've lost a lot on this diet. My job.
I've been on this diet since I was 8, and I've lost my ability to stay in school.
I worked extra night shifts to get off this diet, but I lost time to take care of my kids.
The diet is hunger, and what 35 million Americans lose from this diet is staggering. Help the Sodexo Foundation stop hunger. Go to helpstophunger.org.
How does College of the Ozarks, a small liberal arts college near Branson, Missouri, get all this national publicity? Maybe it's because it openly discourages its students from piling up debt. Maybe it's because of its nationally known convocation series.
We're going to talk about leadership and character.
Maybe it's because it hosts a national basketball championship. And for certain, it's a great place to get an education. Come catch the excitement at Hard Work U.
A little refreshment for the Pioneers on the bench. Why not? They have worked up a sweat and a lead here on Mayville State in this championship affair. This Thursday night, 12:30 Eastern, each night throughout the NCAA tournament, get caught up on the latest action first with the NCAA March Madness highlights on CSTV, powered by Pontiac. Follow all the upsets, big shots, buzzer beaters on the official highlight show of the NCAA tournament, NCAA Basketball Possession CSTV. We talked about a Quinn War and his epic journey here to America from Sudan. Boy, he has been epic at times in this game.
They entitled him a lost boy, but there's nothing lost about him out on the floor tonight. 8 points, 11 rebounds, 4 block shots. He has done it all for the Pioneers, and it's been vital for their success tonight. Even though he's not the leading scorer, defensively, him being around the rim, having those 4 block shots, and rebounding, 8 of those 11 rebounds have come at that end of the floor, have been so important against the Comets. Because now every time the Comets get the ball down low in the block, and I think this is part of the reason why they've struggled here in the second half, they're looking to see where he is at, rather than just focusing on the rim and going up with their shots.
And it's changed the dynamic of Howard, such a penetrator and slasher. The times he's gone into the lane, he's had to worry about the flying frame of War coming in to snuff it out.
I was going to do this whole Ron Howard type thing, you know, Mayville, kind of Mayberry kind of thing, you know. He's going to whistle the theme song and whatnot, but he has been unable to get off today. He's really struggled offensively.
Well, there he helped out, forcing the steal. And when it's not War, it's Kibbers with a stuff. Well, the Pioneers have it all working now. And Hepker hits hard after Howard tried for the steal.
You see down low, Coach Smith is begging for the foul. And it looks like there's a lot of body there. But Kibbers is second on the team in block shots on the year for the Pioneers. Good job being aggressive. And that one probably should have gone Mayville's way, but that's just kind of how the second half has gone for Mayville overall.
Kid out of Monticello, Iowa. We talked about Mayville, town of 2000. Craig Smith says, you know, big town to me. I'm from a town of 700 and has found a home in leading this program. Again, they were 1-27 when he took over 3 years ago, and 3 straight trips to this tournament. Slow start for them this year. And they got it going in the right direction here, but they've run into a second half buzzsaw in red.
I'm happy to see his numbers. He's only got 5 points in the second half. But Coach Smith, you know, assistant coach at North Dakota State University, Division I level. A lot of people looked at him kind of sideways when he took a job at 1-27. Like, Coach, what are you thinking? Well, he had the vision And this vision is what he's seeing tonight. Now, obviously, he'd rather be up by 20 rather than down by 20. But this is what he thought this program could be. He thought they could compete at this level, and they're well on their way of getting to that level, as we've seen tonight.
Stingeon able to finish inside, but he has been harnessed tonight in part due to foul trouble. Guy that had 16 in the semifinals, a couple of early buckets. He'll spend a lot of time watching this one with those fouls. Hawkins gets the bang, and that'll be a charge.
Yeah, that's a good job by Stingeon. Trying to do it on the first possession of the game. He was looking to try to get that one. That time he's able to do it. Very smart play. Really, you credit that because of the great defense on the perimeter by the Comets. Hawkins had nothing else to going. I mean, his only option was to go one-on-one. And that's one aspect of his game. You're not going to say, yeah, that's a strength. He's much better catching the ball with his back to the basket and working down low on the block.
Rogers, guarded by Kibbers. And they're going to call the foul on number 13 in red. Rogers watching Kibbers head to the bench with foul number 4. And Runberg returns for the Pioneers. Kibbers fouled out last night with about 2 minutes left to go in the semifinal. And he'll sit right now with 6:32 to go after foul number 4. Rogers dumps that one in, not especially strong from the line, only about 45%. And makes the first.
And you know what I love about Mayville? Their student section. On this shot, if he makes it, they're going to jump around and do this oh baby baby thing. And it's really fun. I mean, I asked him, why oh baby baby? It's just fun. See, if he would have hit the shot, we would have been able to see it. Come on. Rogers is supposed to set me up and carry that through.
Classic jinx personified. Misfire there. Rogers looking for the rebound. Loses the handle. Runberg. Hector on the cut. Reverse is good. Always aware, always unselfish, this Pioneer team. Rogers got a great get. Puts it up, and he'll go to the line.
All right, we'll allow the student section to do their dance this time. He's got opportunities at the free throw line again. But a good job that time putting the pressure back on him. But I think if you're Mayville right now, you can't be so, I mean, you got to be concerned with what you do at the offensive end of the court. But even more so, you can't allow easy buckets for the Pioneers. And Hector did a nice job breaking that press down and getting an easy bucket. All right, see, there's the dance. You know what I love about them? They're starting right now, they're down by 16. And they're still in this game as much as they were when it was 0-0 to start off.
Runberg lost his footing, but it hopped right to Hector. And War fouled as he took it up. And they've got the passion. And we noticed that since we've been here this weekend. The sportsmanship and the good nature of everybody around here. When you see guys hit the deck, more often than not, it's somebody from the opposing team that goes to help them up.
Right, and the amazing thing, too, is the community atmosphere that you have here. You know, the funny guys in the straw hats over there that look like they're sitting on a beach in Hawaii. They all used to be players here in this program. 2 of them were on their team last year, so it's killing them. They're not ahead right now, but they're so proud and so happy of what this program's been able to accomplish and to get back here. And they have great support, and that's kind of what you try to build. And that's why Coach Smith has been so successful in building this program, is because guys want to stick around. Guys want to be around the program, and that's what builds success.
He certainly said that. He said, hey, Mayville is what it is. Great town of 2000, but that's not your style. It's not your style. He says he's selling his program for what it is, and the kids that come there, they want to come there, and they're happy there. And it's worked wonders as they've gotten to this championship game.
And everything just really struggling for Mayville right there. An opportunity, drive towards the ball. The basket, ball just slips out of your hands. Luckily, it gets deflected. Now you get a second chance. But you're not going to see any quick out of Mayville. And the Pioneers have to remember that. They have to make sure that they do things the way they got this lead. I would like to see them slow things down offensively again and start working some of this clock down. They got a sizable lead. They're patient. They'll be all right.
Howard hoisting a three. That's deep. And Moore skies for another rebound. And try to run the floor. About the only thing we haven't seen him do tonight.
I was hoping he was going to break the press and take off from the free throw line. He certainly has the athleticism to sky above everybody else. One thing, too, is when you look at him, his legs. His legs, extremely skinny legs. When you look at him, that's where he gets his spring. You know, everybody looks at legs and they go, well, he must be working out on his quads. There's nothing on those legs except for muscle and bone. And where he gets his strength is from his core, his abdomen area. That's where you coil yourself up and able to pull yourself up above the rim and higher than everybody else. And certainly over the last 2 days since we've been in town, that's what has impressed me more than anything, is his ability to get up above anybody else, no matter who they're playing.
There he is again. Tonight, that time, Rogers had the quicks to get up early and put it in.
Quietly, very, very quietly, Mayville is starting to creep back into this game a little bit. I mean, they're not profoundly creeping into this game. You're not seeing a great, big, huge run. But quietly, they're just kind of going about their business, trying to chip away little by little. Still 5:31 left to go on the clock. Plenty of time. Plenty of time for Mayville to get things going offensively. That's why, if I'm Mid-America Nazarene, I'm trying to slow things down offensively and really work some of that shot clock, because the last thing you want to do is play up-tempo. Even after you break the press, set up your offense and then start to work things in the half court and burn some time, because you're going to limit the possessions throughout the remainder of the game. And the one thing that Mayville needs more than anything right now is a lot of possessions.
And we'll see if good defense can translate into more time with the basketball.
The press has been somewhat effective for them. They've given up some easy looks, but they have been able to create some steals, get mismatches, and get fouls in the right area at the right time.
Rocky Lamar, his Pioneer team, the Heart of America Athletic Conference champs. He's the conference coach of the year. Now the 5:23 away from an NAIA national title. Bell back in. Almost got his pocket picked from behind, but kept it alive.
Much better possession this time for the Pioneers.
Hector had Bell open, but they couldn't get it to the hoop. Hawkins turns, blocked by Rogers. Benjamin grabs it. Karachka, a huge three for Mayville.
And the lead's down to 13. They've already taken away 7 points off that lead, and here we go again.
The steal. Finish can't come from the hands of Gilon.
He really needed to finish that one. Could have made it a 10-point game.
And Hepka makes him pay at the other end. Adam Hepker, the team leader for Mid-America Nazarene. Another finish at the hoop. And Rogers can't stick the jumper.
That time by Rogers down low. You don't want to give up anything easy at this point in time. It's a 15-point lead. You can't afford to give up layups, and certainly you can't afford to give up N1 opportunities. So good hard foul that time by Monty.
Senior from Murray, Utah, Monty Rogers at Salt Lake Community College. Had some connections to the Mayville State program. Like what he saw, ended up making a home. And quite a career for the senior, first team All-American this season.
That needs Ronald Howard to step up his game here in the last couple minutes. I mean, he's 2 of 12 from the field on the game for Ron Howard. I mean, this is a guy who on the season is averaging 16 points. And his production tonight has been very limited, and we touched on it about how his defense might disrupt Hepker, but really it's been Hepker that's disrupted Howard.
Carrasco penetrated. Rogers tried to flick it up. And again, common sight in the second half. Rim and not in for the Comets.
Shooting only 25% here in the second half, while the Pioneers are shooting 63%. And that tells you a story here in the second half of how this lead has been built and how they've been able to maintain it.
Mayville off the turnover. Howard, he'll knife in, and short. And now the foul after the miss. And Ron Howard and Mayville State had a dream start, but it's looking like a nightmare finish. Mid-American Nazarene closing in on a national championship trophy. They've had the right stuff all right here in this second half.
New surprises and old favorites. They're all waiting for you at my Dixie Stampede. Remember what I always tell you, it's the most fun place to eat in Branson. I guarantee it.
Top off at mycokerewards.com.
At a time when sports are heading in the wrong direction, the NAIA is changing the culture of sport. Through the Champions of Character program, our college students are learning character traits that change behaviors. And they're bringing the message to coaches, parents, and teams nationwide. Visit NAIA.org and learn how your team can become champions of character.
$66-50 the score. Mid-American Nazarene 334 away from the first ever national title in school history, and War has been the man in this one for the Pioneers.
Yeah, he certainly has done everything. It starts really at the defensive end of the floor, blocking shot after shot. So successful, got himself a double-double, 10 points, 14 rebounds, 4 block shots, 2 steals, and a partridge in a pear tree. He's done it all for the Pioneers here today.
He is the Sirius Satellite Radio player of the game. A double-double in one of 4 Pioneers scoring in double figures. That's the average, and that's been good enough to build this lead.
You know, if he was a little bit better at the free throw line, now 2 of 9 from the free throw line, he'd be closing in on 20 points, 14 rebounds. I mean, he's already had a great dominating game.
Gets a friendly hop in the hole there. Aggressive move there by the Comets, and Rogers can't get the follow, but he'll step to the strike.
How great of a story it is. I mean, here we are in a national championship game. We chronicled his story as a lost boy, and now he's here, and we're naming him player of the game, and he stepped up on the biggest stage for his team and his school to have the kind of effort that he had tonight. Truly remarkable. I mean, and well-deserved, too.
It certainly is that journey for freedom and survival, and has led to opportunity for he and members of his family and members of his own country. 4th foul on War.
Now you're going to probably be able to add national champion to that list of things in the story and the tale of Mr. War.
And we talk about his free throw propensity, maybe a reason he's out for the moment, as you would expect Mayville State to maybe start to foul, but not if they can't catch the men moving to the hoop. That's Neller flashing to the goal.
Well, if they're going to do that, I want to see some high flying. I want to see some alley-oops. Put him back in the game. Let him dunk.
He's done that and more. Neller got the hoop, trying to earn the jump. I believe a timeout was called before that.
30-second timeout. Mayville State.
There's another senior in the squad. You see War up, congratulating his teammates as they hit the huddle.
A great atmosphere this has been here. College of the Ozarks. They've done such a nice job working with us, letting us have pretty much all access to everything that's going on here, allowing us to get to know the players, get to know the coaches, and get to know the people that put on this tournament, as well as the school itself, the College of the Ozarks. The students work here about 15 hours a week as part of their education.
NAIA Championship Basketball brought to you by Nissan and by Sirius Satellite Radio. You talked about that work-study program. That's why they got the term Hard Work U here on campus at College of the Ozarks. Able to work off their tuition and give kids the opportunity to attend college here that might not have had the opportunity to do it before.
Let's give some kudos to their women's program here at the College of the Ozarks. Go down tonight and lose in the Division II Women's Championship game, but return all 5 starters next year. Certainly the expectation level and the bar has now been set that they're going to be able to get back there next year.
And War back in and back showing off the skills. That one went a couple rows deep.
After the game, I heard they're going to give him some Windex so he can just clean the backboard for him. I mean, he just comes up, and it's always coming and rotating over from the help side. I mean, that's why if I'm a guard, you don't even have to play defense as a guard. Just be like, Coach, he got the block. What are you worried about?
And he has really controlled the paint and neutralized one of the common strengths. And that's Howard taking it to the goal.
Well, the big story, too, is when you look at Mayville, not a very good perimeter shooting team. They're 2 of 12 from behind the arc tonight. They struggled last night from behind the arc, and in the second half, they only took 2 3-pointers and had a great deal of success getting in the paint, scoring in the paint, and that's where they made their living. Well, if you can't get buckets inside the paint because every shot's getting blocked, well then that's what opens up everything on the perimeter, and you got to live or die by it.
Well, Kibber's gonna exit this one, but you know what? This is a happy exit because they've got the opportunity to walk away with the hardware, most likely.
And what a great story for Kibbers, coming back from torn ACL to come all the way back and work hard this year, provide the statistics that he was able to do over the course of the season, his compilation of his work, and be able to exit this game right now. He fouled out of the game, but 2:44 left. He exits knowing that, hey, guys, we're going to win a national championship here. We are 2 minutes and 44 seconds away.
Rogers misses on the first, and again, he's had to do the job tonight on Rogers. Monty's got 20, but still, he's scored in pockets. He hasn't been able to take over the game like he's done at portions of the season.
Well, he's done it by himself, too. I mean, he hasn't had a lot of help from anybody else. Nobody else is even in double digits.
Stenjum back on the court for the Comets. And that full court pressure continues. Lead feed for Neller. 3-on-1. And that's going to be a finish for Runberg. Check it. Austin Boots off the bench into the game, and he gets a bucket in the national championship game.
Just a young sophomore, able to get out there and get some experience in this setting.
This Comet squad is still hustling down the court, getting after it. Craig Smith has just watched his team not able to do the object of the game, put the ball in the hoop here in the second half.
I'm sure we talked about it last night at 21. Tonight he's got 19. was going to say if he hits both of these, he'd have 21. I think the thought process of me just thinking that jinxed him into missing that free throw. That's his first missed free throw all night long.
Well, you talked about the women's program here at College of the Ozarks, Mid-American Nazarene.
Yes.
Their team in the Final Four for the women's tournament as well. So both of these programs have been dynamite. In fact, both of the Pioneer Hoop teams unbeaten at home this season.
That's pretty impressive.
Olathe, not a fun place to go visit in the NAIA. And it might be a fun place to go see tonight because they may be having a little celebration with a national championship team for the first time.
Doing a little defense-offense substitution. Hawkins and Ward go to the bench. Not great free throw shooters, and not very good at handling the ball on the perimeter, so they want to make sure that they maintain that with this pressure that they're receiving.
Boots try to deal it back to Neller, and that's a turnover.
And here comes the substitution in the cavalry again. Ward comes in, Hawkins come in. Bill and Boots go to the bench.
Good for coaches, bad for stat trackers.
Oh. Well, the bad thing is, like, if you're coming in and you're only in that situation, you're only getting, like, less than a minute worth of playing time, and then it counts as playing in the game, and you don't get any buckets, hurt you. Especially if you have them on your fantasy team. I don't know if they have NAIA Division II fantasy basketball, but if they do, you're not going to be very pleased that Ward's going to the bench, missing opportunities to finish at the rim. I'm just saying.
Opportunity to rack up good numbers.
Maybe help you win a fantasy championship. That'd be sweet if they did have an NAIA Division II fantasy basketball league. Hepker would be my first pick next year.
You think?
Well, he shoots 57% from the floor, but averages 17-7. And he's a first-team All-American guy. Yeah, I'd take him.
If War was an underclassman, though?
Oh, I'd take War.
Okay, there you go.
Block shots, I'd win that category every week. Nobody's
question.
back.
Clear path for Brenton Bell and a breakaway bucket. And a freshman from Olathe. And playing for the school at his hometown.
If I'm Mayville, I pull off the press, get back, just play half-court defense. You don't want to give up any more open looks. And I think also if you're the Pioneers, even if you have broken the press, just set it up. You're up by 20. It's a minute 40 left to go.
Deep 3-0. Hepker fighting for it. Rogers puts it down.
Great game for Rogers. He's now got 26 on the contest. And see, now just pull it out, settle. If they're going to foul you, they're going to foul you. But I mean, I wouldn't even foul at this point in time.
Chris Reinhardt. And again, he fouled Hepker and was the man there to help him up off the floor.
You see the frustration on Coach Smith's face. See the frustration even on the fans' face behind him. There's nothing for those guys to be hanging their heads about. They have competed throughout the course of this tournament, 5 games, 6 days. Coming into this tournament, I don't think there's a lot of people that would have said, yeah, you know what? Mayville, they're the team that's going to be playing for the national championship. But yet, here they are. They had some upsets along the way. They played solid basketball. This is just another part of the building process for the Mayville Comets. For the Pioneers, this is a realization of what hard work, dedication, and the last 9 years have been all about.
And for head coach Rocky Lamar, last 2 decades, 21 years in leading his alma mater. Rogers with another deuce, and he continues to pile up the points. But think about it. We were talking, you can make the correlation here to a big-time coach, a guy like a Roy Williams, coaches for a long time, doesn't get that national title. Jim Boeheim at Syracuse, close so many times, doesn't get that national title. Rocky Lamar, been to this tournament 9 years in a row, 12 times all time, been to the Final Four a few times, championship game before, and now, boy, he just wants that thing to go tick, 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 tick.
Now the clock is, I think right now, though, with a 17-point lead, he's feeling fine. He's feeling very comfortable with the fact that they're going to walk away with this thing. As for him, I start looking all the way down the bench. If there's anybody that's in a suit, in a uniform, that can get in the game, get him in. This might be the only chance in their lifetime to play for a national championship. And with a minute left in a 17-point lead, you're safe. As Rogers is going to go ahead and take a seat, the senior. What a great career he has had for the Comets. The admiration that he'll feel. You know, tonight there's dejection. And he leaves the game with 28 points. And a solid effort out of him tonight. And certainly it's tough when you realize that it's all said and done. And especially, there's only one team that's going to end their season with that win. Everybody else is going to get the loss.
Working our way to the final minute here. This national championship. Chad Hobbs into the game for Mayville. He gets a crack and comes up short. And now the folks from Mid-American Nazarene starting to feel it now. 45 to go in the game.
And they're trying to get everybody in. They've cleared the bench now, but there's 40 seconds left. Throw the ball out of bounds. Call timeout, something.
Yeah. Rocky Lamar is going to take a timeout and empty his bench right now.
And the reason for why I say that is twofold. One, to get the admiration for the guys that are out there starting. But even more importantly, for all these guys that don't get a lot of burn during the regular season. I mean, they're part of this team. They're a big part of this team. They're the one that helps this team get prepared to play through their hard work and perseverance every day in practice. For all 5 of these guys that just checked into the game, I'm so happy for them. They get to play, and even though it's just 36.8 seconds, they played in a national championship game, in a game in which the Pioneers are going to end up hoisting up a national championship.
Certainly is the case. John Nipker out there. Brody Bell seeing his first action. That's a shot clock violation. And those guys will be able to talk about this for a lifetime.
And Coach Lamar hugging Mr. War on the bench because they've been through wars together. And high fives all the way down the bench for the Pioneers. Hugs have already started. I'm telling you, this is a great moment for all these kids and for the Pioneers. You can see the excitement and exuberance in their face.
Rocky Lamar, Mid-American Nazarene. They've been close before. Now they're not close. They're on top of the world. NAIA Division II national champions, the Pioneers from Olathe, Kansas. The chants of NMU here from the fans. MNU, Mid-American Nazarene University, the winner by 18. More from Missouri in a moment.